America is in distress, and we need to do something about it, and I'm hoping that this will shock the intelligence community uses. America is in distress. Are there any Americans out there? SOS. Are there any Americans out there that give a damn?
The war in the Persian Gulf would be the first test after the Cold War of the American promise of a new world order. The air planners' first targets were not the 400,000 Iraqi troops in and around Kuwait, but key strategic political and military targets in Baghdad.
This is great stuff. I could make a career out of this guy. You see how clever this part is? How it doesn't require a shred of proof? And most paranoid delusions are intricate, but this is brilliant.
Flight 11 slamming into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Emergency crews mobilized.
Well, let's go back to one other thing.
Look, you have heard enough. I have answered your questions. Now I have to...
The amateur video, the plane coming, and now... No words, no reason.
Let's go back to one other thing.
Look, you have heard enough. I have answered your questions.
That's not up to me.
Why am I talking to you?
Because I
Who is
don't-
in authority here?
Please, listen.
Shut up! You still don't get it, do you?
Was up against. She knew about the two crashes at the World Trade Center.
Tim, you stay with us. Brian Jenkins, you're an expert on terrorism. You've been involved in things like this for a long time, but nothing compared to this. Were you shocked?
Shocked, but not surprised.
Danger, danger. America is in distress.
Some hope that for the first time in history, air power alone would bring victory.
I thought the strategic campaign would not only work, but that it would be bordering on unbelievably successful. And that was based on the fact technology had finally caught up with the vision that we'd always had of how to apply a strategic air campaign.
Imagine Iraq like a human body. What happens if you take away somebody's ability to think?
Aircraft. Flight 11 slamming into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Aircraft. Flight 11 slamming into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Flight 11 slamming into the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
Somebody's ability to communicate with the rest of the body. What happens if you sever their spinal cord?
Obviously, the city is now closed. The airspace around the city is closed.
9:40. All American airports have been closed, but there are still
They
planes...
can't function, right?
Aircraft. Flight 11 slamming into the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
They can't function, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about is a cabal of tyranny.
We must be more vigilant. We must accept restrictions on freedoms that we have been reluctant to accept up to now.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about is a cabal of tyranny. We have a Judas, a project for a new American century, who said they needed a new Pearl Harbor to carry out their transformation for the country.
The difficulty is, of course, with terrorism you're fighting phantoms.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty is, of course, with terrorism you're fighting phantoms.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty is, of course, with terrorism you're fighting phantoms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the official story is there were no explosions. There were no explosions. There were no explosives. There were no explosions.
Manhattan just falling away. We know that as you see it there, it's just falling away, just falling out of the sky, falling into pieces all over Lower.
into that space?
I don't know that it will ever be safe. I think the rescue people that are in there trying to save people are very much at risk, as they always are in these kinds of disasters. That the structure is always, when you have a pile of rubble like this, the structure is always somewhat unstable.
Into that space?
I don't know that it will ever be safe. I think
there's small explosions still going on. We just heard another explosion. There's small explosions still going on.
Is a cabal of tyranny. We have a Judas education, a transformation of people, the transformation of governance, the transformation of the military. It all had to take place over a long period of time where it was if there was another Pearl Harbor, they would be able to attack. They'd be able to attack their problems and try to make them occur. They could force them. Their transformation in law enforcement, their transformation in international banking control, transformation of the defense establishment. Because I feel like these people are draining and destroying American sovereignty and military power. This is not the military that performed this. These are high-ranking people that, if it were an American conspiracy, would be in the State Department. They would be in intelligence. They would be in security. The bottom line is whoever it is, it sure wasn't the terrorists. They weren't. Giuliani have to have a paper discussing talking points concerning explosions.
About the cause of the explosions that brought the two buildings down yet? Was it caused by the planes or by something else?
We believe that it was caused by the after effects of the planes hitting the buildings. We don't know of an additional explosion.
The cause of the explosions that brought the two buildings down yet? Was it caused by the planes or by something else?
We believe that it was caused by the after effects of the planes hitting the buildings. We don't know of an additional explosion.
Why does Mr. Mayor of New York City need to have a piece of paper to answer a question about explosions that brought the buildings down? What is that about? He admits that they believe that the explosions that brought the buildings down were caused by the after effects of the aircraft hitting the building. Because he didn't answer the question, don't know what you're talking about. He answered it, we believe that was the result of the after effects of the planes hitting the buildings. Will you take a look at that again?
About the cause of the explosions that brought the two buildings down yet? Was it caused by the planes or by something else?
We believe that it was caused by the after effects of the planes hitting the buildings. We don't know of an additional explosion.
Shocking, isn't it? Why does they're all calm, cool, and collected in this press conference talking about the terrorists, and the people that have done this to America are going to be gotten. We're going to get them, and we'll be okay. And oh, by the way, don't worry about anything. It's all right that planes are killing people and buildings are falling in the street. We've got complete control. It's all going according to plan. Okay, one more time. Why did he need a talking point to answer the question about explosions that brought the buildings down? What was the reason? I'm not sure. It seems like I see, because the terrorists did it. That's right. The terrorists. It's the terrorists. I got you.